how are you going to sell a book if you don't want people to know about it? Like, I had to be hard with her.
Very early on in my career, I set a goal that I was going to buy a rental property. And I said, I'm going to buy a property in this neighborhood with this amount of square footage. Eventually, I got a phone call from a seller that said, hey, look, like.
So the questions I would ask would be, what is it? I mean, most people, if you sit there and talk with them long enough, they're going to have some goals.
So let's start off from the beginning. So
Sure.
Dream. When you say dream, is that like the same thing as a goal, or what do you mean by dream?
No, you have it. So it's whatever that dream, whatever that goal is, you have to identify it. Number one, you've got to identify your goal. So give me a goal of yours right now.
My goal is to complete about 10 accessory dwelling units over the next 24 months, basically.
Okay, awesome. So you have a vision, right? So I'm sure you've seen that in your mind. So you have a goal, right?
Yeah, correct. So here's what I would ask you for somebody that maybe doesn't have a goal or has not taken the time to set up a goal.
Okay.
What questions would you ask them to basically help them get a little bit more clarity on that? And what is your definition of a goal as well?
Okay. Well, it could be anything. It could be if you're looking to get more healthy, eat better, you want to get more fit, you want to start an exercise routine, you want to lose weight, you're interviewing, you want to get a new job, you either want a new job or you want to elevate your position at your job, you want to build whether it's real estate. I'm a real estate agent of 30 years, whether you want to build your business. I mean, I've been in real estate for over 30 years and I'm always learning. I'm always meeting new people who I learned something from, a different way of doing something. If you're a podcast host and you want to elevate your brand and you want to get more guests on it, whatever that goal is, personal or professional. So the questions I would ask would be, what is it? I mean, most people, if you sit there and talk with them long enough, they're going to have some goals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here's one tip and I want to get your thoughts on it. Like,
Sure.
when I've talked to people about goals, I've realized that a lot of people's goals are very vague,
Yeah.
and they don't have a time frame either.
Right.
What I mean by that is that they're like, yeah, I want to buy a rental property.
Right.
And then you ask them like, okay, like how much would that rental property cost? And they're like, I don't know. How much money would you need to put as a down payment? I don't know. What would your monthly payment on that be? I don't know. How much could I rent out for? What areas are you looking for? So, and I don't know if you believe the same thing, but I think if somebody's setting a goal, trying to make it as specific as possible,
right,
I think helps the likelihood. I'll give you an example. Like very early on in my career, I set a goal that I was going to buy a rental property. And I said, I'm going to buy a property in this neighborhood with this amount of square footage. Eventually, I got a phone call from a seller that said, hey, look, like I have this property to sell you. The other thing is the time frame as well, too. So when you ask me, I'm like, okay, look, I want to do it in the next X days. I'm imagining that your marathon, you were like, hey, I want to do it by this time as well, too.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on specific and time frames as it relates to goals?
You absolutely. So the person you were describing, that's perfect. And that's where, as an accountant, I call myself an accountability coach. I'm holding people accountable to themselves, but I'm also giving them time. So let's take this person. So I wrote a couple books. So I had a friend, she had been working on a book for years and it wasn't happening. So during COVID, probably 15 years. So during COVID, I said, there was plenty of time to do other things. So I said, I'm going to coach you and we're going to publish this book. So she had a bunch of papers so let's go back for a second to the person you were just talking about. That person was like, oh, I want to buy this and this point. So for that person, I would say, okay, let's sit down. I open up my Google Spreadsheet and I say, okay, so you want to buy where? We write down where you want to buy it. Have you spoken to a lender? No. Okay, tomorrow you're going to speak with Zach and you're going to go through the steps. You're going to understand how much money you need. And then we talk about where's it going to come from. So we'll go through every step, right? They had a goal, but it was so vague, like you said. So we just have to hold them accountable. And there's tons of people. Like I'm not the expert in a lot of things, but I can find the person to help the person. So the person writing the book, every week we'd meet once a week, and then during the week I'd hold her accountable. I'd give her homework assignments. We had to work through things like, because it was loosely based on her culture, and at one point she didn't want to do a Facebook group page. She didn't want people to know about it. How are you going to sell a book if you don't want people to know about it? Like, I had to be hard with her. Are you waiting for your dad to die until you publish your book? Because there were some things in it. So we had, I mean, she had books delivered when we got that far and hidden in the garage, and there was a story that her dad didn't, couldn't know that those were the books. Everything worked out beautifully, but there were so many obstacles that she was putting in front of herself. So just to get the book, we'll go back there every week. Okay, now you're going to write some more pages. Now you're going to edit it. Now you're going to get an editor to review it. Every week it was something. Here's the publisher. This is the person who's going to put it together. Here's the person to do the cover. Now we've got to let people know that it's coming. And now we need a Facebook page with all of your friends from your college and your community, and and then I had 2 books launches for her, and then it just snowballed, and she's on her second book. It was incredible, and
I
her
love it.
life has changed so dramatically. But she had it in her, but she didn't have any time frames, and she was putting up too many roadblocks. So when we would meet each week, and then I would nudge her during the week, and we had hard assignments, um,
Yeah.
then it happened.
And sometimes even when like she wasn't taking a specific action, sometimes there's something else that
Yes.
they're not sharing with you as to the reason. Like for her, it
Right.
might have been her dad that maybe she was scared to publish that because it had some things that maybe her
Yes.
dad or somebody wouldn't approve of, which a lot of times is helpful to have
Right.
somebody like that. The other thing I would say on that goal category,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a definition, like a lot of people look at success as only financial, like
Right.
meaning like if you're successful, like, oh, you make a lot of money or you have a nice house or you drive a nice car. A lot of at least my definition of successful is somebody that has a goal and is going after that goal, and that goal can be different things, meaning that goal can be being
Absolutely.
a top realtor, it could be a top
Right.
investor, it could be being a great mother, it could be being a
Right.
great father, it could be attending certain things. So I think on that, just having a dream and
Mm-hmm.
being specific
Yep.
and having a time frame, I think that's helpful. Now,